Okay, welcome back. We're doing another 7 Deadly Sins video, of course. I want to start by saying I am not good with the whole, I understand the concept of Final Boss, but I'm not the person to go to when it comes to trying to get a really high score. So we're going to be doing a guide on, like, the basics of the fight if you're having trouble with it, because there are mechanics and stuff to the fight. I'm just not the person to go to when it comes to trying to get like a super high score, because to get high scores, like I'm going to be doing extreme, because honestly my team can only pretty much do extreme. I'm not crazy whale mode or anything like that, so I can't do I don't think I'm going to be able to do a hell mode. Well, I might be able to, but honestly, like, the odds are not great. So, because I don't have too much trouble with this fight, he really doesn't do a whole lot of damage to you. It's just very mechanic based, and if you actually want to get a halfway decent score, there's a couple of things that you need to know. So we're going to be doing extreme just for example, because this is the one that I can pretty consistently run and not get absolutely destroyed on. So once we get in, you're going to have some buttons over here on the right that you can click, and they'll actually show you the different sorts of challenges, I guess you would call them, like different sorts of whatever's going to give you actual points and everything like that. So okay, so we're in phase 1. Phase 1 is really easy. It's obviously supposed to be the easier of the two phases. No. Rule number 1, make sure your auto is off. I did this a million times with Final Boss King, and it absolutely destroyed some very good runs. So yeah, that will be step number 1. Turn your auto off. Perfect example. I'm actually kind of glad that happened, so I can make sure that you guys get the point. Anyways, so these are going to be your different challenges and stuff. This is what's going to give you different kinds of points. Obviously, some of this stuff you're going to get these regardless, just by playing the stage and everything like that. But if you want to do specific ones to try and get more points, then the ones that I can kind of tell do the most really are these the damage inflicted ones. As long as you're getting at least 20k damage on every hit, as long as your characters are buff enough or strong enough to do that, it's going to help you tremendously with getting a decent amount of points. The second phase, actually, they start really bearing down on you with debuffs and stuff like that. So just having King on the team, I use King and I use Blue Lilia. If you didn't go through the step up for Blue Lilia, this is going to be a lot harder for you, because she is the perfect unit for this. So yeah, obviously Blue Lilia takes a level 2 card before she actually purifies, but her heal is kind of nice to have either way. But on the second phase, they're going to start shooting you down with a lot of debuffs. Just purging those gives you a ton of points. I don't use Stance Disable. I think that Merlin's card, once you get it to level 2, I think it might do a Stance Stance Purge or whatever, Stance Disable, but I'm not positive on that. I think it does, but at the same time, I've seen it pop up and say Stance Disable before, but I'm not quite sure. Decrease enemies' ult gauge using skills with dissolve effect. So this is pretty easy, because if you have Lilia, all you would have to do is combine these two cards together, and at level 2 her AoE is going to help out a lot with that. What I would recommend though is in the first phase, definitely try and take off as much ult gauge not ult gauge. Try to just get rid of as many single target cards as you can, and make sure that you're building up everybody's ultimate, because at the beginning of the second phase, you're going to want to try to burst down pretty quickly, and the second phase has a lot more of an interesting mechanic to it. So I think I may be in a tough spot here, actually, because the auto attacked this left golem right here. So the big thing about these two golems in phase 1 is that each time you take out a golem, Gowther is going to get way stronger. It's going to buff him up a ton. So although they're not like they're pretty easy to kill, so I need to really focus on trying to get some single target cards out right here. I think I should be good. He has a bunch of gold cards in his hand right now, so we're gonna try to lower or decrease some skill ranks right here. If I hit him one more time, I'm pretty sure he's dead. And I have a single target. Well, I don't now, but I can do a purge on that actually. Those are pretty much the basics. Obviously, the big thing you're going to want to watch out for with Gowther in this first phase is whatchamacallit. What am I trying to say here? The ultimate's not actually that bad. Sometimes he'll use the red Gowther card where it does attack disable. That one's kind of annoying to deal with. But altogether, he's not that bad in the first phase. They really don't do that much damage unless you take out one of the golems. So we're going to need to try to burst down Gowther as much as possible right here. So just for the sake of the run, I think we are going to purge and heal for the next phase. I think we'll end up killing with... no, let me not do that. Let me do purge and heal. That's going to get the ultimate for her. We're going to combine these two cards, which is going to get ultimate for King. But I needed to be able to... I needed to kill him and then get rid of him. Let me try it like this. We're not going to purge. We're going to do single target. Or we're going to do AoE, which will... that might kill him. I don't know. He's in his taunt phase. Like, he's in his taunt stance. So he's going to take a lot of reduced damage from this. I'm not sure if this is going to work or not. We're going to try it either way. Oh, this is going to be so stupid. If this doesn't kill, I'm going to waste this ult. Okay, I think we're fine. This doesn't kill. Okay, so he's going to do a lot now. He's going to become a lot stronger. Okay, so that was a good example. Sorry if this ends up going a little long, but there is there's a lot to think about when you do these. I think the whole point of Final Boss is for it to be sort of like a thought out process when you go through it to really try and like maximize points and stuff like that. So it's understandable that it's gonna... I didn't want to use that. We'll do defense because why not? I was using attack food to help try to hit over those 20k damage so I could get some more points from that, but I think what I need to do is I just need to keep awakening my Blue Merlin. I don't advise dumping a whole lot of resources into Blue Merlin. Like, I definitely wouldn't limit break or anything like that. She's not worth wasting the SSR pendants on, but since you can farm awakening materials, I've just been awakening her to get her up higher. But this team actually does work out really well as far as I'm concerned, because Merlin has the skill rank decrease, or yes, decrease skill ranks. I can't remember what this one does at level 2. You have the level 2 heal with Lilia, which is really nice. Just the heal in general is pretty good, but the fact that it purifies at level 2 and you can purify it with level 1 on King is good. The single target on King is very helpful, and which obviously you have to watch out for the golems using their taunts, because you don't want to kill the golems in phase 1, and in phase 2 you're going to be relying a lot on AoE cards, so you kind of just have to like stay on your toes and think about what you're doing each time, because there's been several times already where I've just kind of thrown out a bunch of cards like, oh hey, like I'm going to get rid of this and that, and then it ends up, you know, biting me. So we're going to do this. We're going to merge, and we're going to get rid of that. So we're going to try to build up all these ults. Well, that helped. If it would give us some king cards, I could try to get King's ult going, but doesn't seem to want to do that. I really hate that move right there because it decreases, like it'll rank down your cards and get rid of your ult for that. So we're gonna get rid of that card. We'll combine these and then we'll do a level 1 heal. I'm really wanting to get some king cards here. Hello. Okay, there's at least one king card. I have to deal with these ults being in my inventory now, or in my hand. That's fine though. For some reason, I think they always try to go for your weakest character. I think that's just kind of how the final boss is designed, because they always focus Merlin. Like, it's no doubt always Merlin getting focused. Even though he's taunting, we're going to throw that out right there. We are going to move that to help with the ult. And then I think we're going to do the Lilia heal to keep Merlin in the game. Such a bad heal because she's got nothing but Pierce Rate on, basically. Because her heal is actually... it relies on her attack stat being higher. Okay. Combine those two. That's going to give that ult. And then... we might as well go ahead and do this, and we'll D-rank cards. So you can see just purging the debuffs gives us quite a few points. There was a mission accomplished, so that's going to give us a couple points too. Your sweet spot is going to be anywhere from 7 to 11 turns. If you take more than 11 turns, it's going to start like there's like a counter at the end that like goes over how many turns it took you to win the game. And the higher that is, obviously the lower amount of points you're going to get, and it starts to get exponentially higher once you get past like 10. So 11 is pretty much like the worst one to go for. Like, try to get it done before 11. Obviously sometimes it's going to take you less time than others, but I don't think we're going to be able to kill here without... I needed to put some more damage on. Oh well, we're going to use Merlin's ult just in case. I don't think I'm going to kill here actually though. But we're going to get rid of all these ults, which is nice. That actually gave us a pretty good amount of points too, which is good. If it'll give me a king card, like a king attack. Okay, that's good. That might kill. I hate that move. Alright, we're going to purge. We're going to... oh my god. And then, of course, the attack seal, and then he taunts. So annoying. I don't think this kills. Nope. Takes off the ult though, so you can see. Every time you dissolve, it's going to give you pretty decent stuff. So just kind of be aware of that. But you definitely want to start collecting up AoE cards and stuff like that for Phase 2. Because the deal with Phase 2, since we're about to enter it anyway, I'll start going over it. The deal with Phase 2 is that you cannot go through the turn without hitting all of the characters on the field, or else Gowther will completely heal, and he will heal all of his teammates. So if you do not use an AoE card, you're basically screwed because he's going to heal completely. So you have to be on top of that. And sometimes RNG will screw you over and give you nothing but single attack cards. Even with my team having two characters having an AoE card, sometimes it just doesn't work out for me. Which, I mean, out of 6 cards, only 2 of them are AoE, so I kind of bring it on myself not having that much coverage, but this team works out pretty well in most cases. So, alright, we're going to take those. This is an AoE card, so it's going to hit them all. That's also going to skill D-rank and dissolve ult gauge, so that's going to give us a lot of points. Her ult just in general gives a ton of points. King's ult is just really good for damage and everything, so it's going to kind of burst down the fight. We are on turn 9, so we need to kind of wrap this up, but the whole thing here is just making sure that you're, doing AoE cards every single turn, because if you don't, it will screw you. So we're going to heal, and we're going to use an AoE card. This is also going to D-rank their cards. That Purify actually did very well for us, because you can see the 2 golems here in second phase, they're going to start putting on tons of debuffs. Like, I think I've gotten up to like 5 or 6 debuffs at a time on all the characters, so it can get kind of rough. So he puts a debuff on you that reduces ultimate damage moves. And then you can see I've already got, 3 debuffs on her, 2 debuffs on them. So we're going to do... we'll combine these to get rid of the ultimate. We're going to Purify just to get some extra points. And we're going to take off the ult gauge. And because that's an AoE card, it's going to keep us safe from having to worry about them healing. So we actually don't have any AoE in the hand. But we just we got ultimate and we got this. So we're gonna use the ultimate this turn, and then we're going to make sure that we have this for next turn, just in case we don't end up drawing another card. So let us throw. We're gonna purge debuffs so that way we can get a little bit more damage in. We're gonna throw that down, and this is gonna hit the taunt, but we're gonna throw it just so that way it gets rid of a card, and it's gonna combine those two. I don't know. There's going to be people out there that are a lot better at maximizing point gain and everything like that. Just putting together perfect teams and stuff like that. But I play this game for fun. This isn't like a crazy huge thing to me. So although it would, if I had the time for it, I would try to get way more into this and everything. But these final boss events are just they're just like a fun side project to worry about when they're around. Plus you get a lot of good rewards, so I don't mind doing them. I think they're really fun, but just in general, I don't want to put crazy amounts of time into this and focusing on this completely by itself when it's here. I don't mind watching people's guides and stuff like that to try and see what's good to do, or try to put together a team. But I just worry about doing the mechanics of it and making sure that I can actually beat the difficulty that I can actually reach, just so that way I can get the points and everything that I need to buy all the cosmetics and other stuff that I might need. I probably should have kept that AoE card, because I think unless I pull one here, that actually might screw me over. Because I think that taunt is going to last for another turn. Okay, we lucked out. Oh, the taunt's over either way, so we actually would have been okay there. But that was a really bad thing for me to do. Stack on those debuffs and I'll purge those off. We're on turn 13, so this has gone a little too much. And we're going to finish off with the ultimate. There we go. So let's see how many points we got. It's probably going to be 500 or something. Yeah, 560. The most points that I've gotten was I've gotten over 1,000 at one point, but it's just because I got really decent cards and I ended up going through and just beating it pretty quickly. So yeah, my max score right now is almost 1,300. And even then, I understand, you just kind of have to, understand where your team is and if you can actually push for some of these higher stuff. I don't expect myself to get top 15. It's just probably not going to happen. If I get really lucky and people don't end up, surpassing me, a crazy amount, which it's day 2 of the event, so it's probably going to happen. But obviously, the more you play it, sometimes you end up lucking out and you do stuff you do stuff right and you don't even think you're doing it right, and then you end up getting a ton of points. At least that's what happened to me when I was doing Final Boss King. So I could potentially maybe hit top 30%, depending on if I keep working on like buffing this team up and getting Merlin built up a little bit more and everything like that. But I'm not super worried about it. You just kind of have to like choose your battles. Like, I know that my like box isn't the greatest in the world, and that's another thing about these boss events that I kind of don't like, is that they want you to run very specific teams, and like people build these like very meta teams for the final boss, and I don't have the resources and stuff to like dump into these random characters that I'm never going to use again. Like, if I really wanted to go even further with Final Boss King, I could have gotten Elaine even higher, but I literally got her to UR60. I was like, I'm not investing any more into her than that, and then I started to awaken her as much as I could. But I mean, you know, you gotta know what you're doing. Like, you don't overextend yourself just to try to like get a crazy high score on this, because it's not like it's gonna really get you all that much anyway. Like, sure, some of these rewards are kind of nice, like going for like the 100 anvils would be great, but really 100 anvils really isn't like all that many anvils. Like, I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, but I mean, there's other things that give you like good anvils like this. Plus, you can buy anvils from the seasonal shop right now from the final boss event. So like, although you're not probably gonna be able to get these, like, you just kind of have to understand, like, hey, like, maybe I can like push myself to get like top 30. Like, top 30 would be my goal. Like, if I can hit top 30, I'll be completely happy with that. I think I was just about to hit top 15 when it came to Final Boss King, but that was literally just because like it was closer to the beginning of the game. Like, it was months ago at this point, but like the game really hadn't been out that long. I'm sure the player base has grown a ton since then, and I feel like I was in a really like decent spot for it whenever it happened. So it just was luck of the draw, really. So I don't know. Whole point of this is, you know, just go for whatever you're comfortable with. Don't overextend yourself and like put a whole bunch of resources into a character you're never going to use again. Obviously, Lilia is really like good and worth investing into, but I'm not going to keep investing into Blue Merlin. She's just not good in any other use case besides this. And yeah, like, a lot of people are going to be trying to use Blue Ellihawk. I'm not interested in Blue Ellihawk, and I don't think she's really that great of a unit. So, you know, just, you know, take that with a grain of salt. Do what you think is best. Obviously, it's your gameplay experience. Kind of, you know, take advantage of that and play it how you want to play it. Just have fun with it. That's kind of what I'm trying to get across here. So that's pretty much going to do it. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this kind of opened your eyes and perspective on the whole thing a little bit, and hopefully it helped you like with the actual fight itself, because there are some mechanics that are kind of annoying that you have to deal with, and just running the event a couple of times and, you know, catching yourself doing mistakes and stuff like that will make you a better player when it comes to this fight. Obviously it does take a lot of stamina, so you're going to burn through quite a few stamina pots trying to farm for some of these resources, so that way you can get a lot of these shop items and everything like that. But it is what it is. These are limited time events, and a lot of these rewards are very nice to have, so I definitely recommend running it as much as possible. But, you know, if you get all the things that you want and you don't want any of the rest of this stuff, then, I don't know, just stop playing. Like, go focus on like farming up your teams and, you know, grinding for gear and stuff. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.